All right. So picking up from where we just left off, as we again kind of like get familiar with, where and how we've come to think of beer, I think it's really important for us to know a little bit of some classification. And so, as we kind of like navigate through the world in general, as human beings, philosophically, I mean, we like to categorize things, right? We like to, sorry, the lighting's weird. We like to categorize, we like to compartmentalize, and kind of diagram, differences or similarities amongst a wide array of things, right? And I don't think beer is any different. That as you, if you're an active consumer of beer, or if you're, haven't consumed beer, maybe once you start, if you do start, start paying attention to what you like and dislike, obviously, and then kind of realizing, okay, well, do I gravitate more towards dark beers? Do I gravitate towards light beers? Do I gravitate towards hops? Do I gravitate towards malt? Like, there's different ways of compartmentalizing and classifying styles of beer. And most notably, the two kind of like basic ways of distinguishing types of beers are with lagers or with ales. Okay? And lagers are typically kind of what you think of Budweiser, Keystone, PBR. Like those are like, again, yeah, all those are American. American lagers of sorts, right? I mean, they are lagers, yes, but they're, of the affordable variety. But even you think about like Stella Artois, or you think about Heineken, those are also lagers. And lagers, again, aren't just kind of restrictive to, a price range or a style, but rather can kind of, again, span the gamut. And then ales are going to be anything that's kind of, I mean, for more or less reasons, anything that's not a lager, right? And so IPAs, brown ales, porters, um, pale ales, I don't know if I said that, will classify as ales. And the main distinction between the two lies within the yeast that they use. Okay? So lagers use a different strain of yeast, and so interestingly, like you can have a dark lager because it's still a lager because of the yeast that's used, but the color might not match up. So it's kind of like, our expectations when we think of lager, we think of probably gold, kind of a blonde ale, something like that. But in fact, you can find, and I have seen, like black lagers, which are pretty interesting. And then ales are going to be, again, made with a different kind of yeast, and their fermentation method is a little different, where it's bottom fermented, I think is the right term. And they're made and they're fermented at a much hotter temperature than lagers are. Okay? And as you can see, I would encourage you to check the other videos that I've posted here. Along with the one of those links goes to a website that has a nice diagram of like, okay, there is some overlap between ales and lagers, but then there's also distinction. And so being able to actually see like maybe the kind of beer style that you like is actually an ale, and you didn't know that. Okay? And so it's this kind of big umbrellaing of kind of terminologies. So I encourage you to watch, again, the other videos that I have linked here. Check out that video, or check out that link, pardon me. Check out that link as it relates to the diagram. And yeah, I hope that, I hope that there is something of a takeaway this week after kind of thinking about beer. That beer isn't just, cracking it up and shotgunning it and calling it good. Like, there's a world of beer out there that is cerebral, it's interesting, people care a lot about it, and engage in and with beer maybe a bit differently than you had prior to this week. So enjoy these videos, and I think they're well done, clever, well made, and they already hit on themes that we've already started and established a little bit thus far. So enjoy them, and we will start with wine next week.